Hello, thank you for coming to this video. Today we're going to be talking about education and money. So I was given a challenge to talk about something to do with education that is my soapbox. So I thought of this one because it has come up in my life. And what I mean by this education and money is that I have heard that the money or the income that a family makes is directly correlated to the success or the educational success of a student or the town. The amount of money that you put into your public school is directly correlated to the results of your educational, the testing and all that. Or the money that we spend on a teacher is directly related to the success of the student. So, this is kind of something that I do not agree with. I know that money has something to do with education. Obviously we want to pay teachers as much as we can. Obviously, we want to give our students as much advantage as we possibly can. But that doesn't always relate to money. Money is a way that we can tangibly put our finger on, if we put more money in this, we're going to get a better student. And that's what we want to do, just kind of physically point our finger to something. But I'm here to tell you that I have met so many people families who have lower income by choice, maybe they chose to give up this amazing CEO career to be able to teach their own children. So that means they're not going to be making as much money as a family, but that doesn't mean that the education is diminished because now that student has parents who are involved in their life. And there are things that we can do educationally that are worth more than money. I myself decided I would stay home with my kids and I would help homeschool them. And that meant that there were going to be some hard days, and we had to give up some financial desires in order to live on one income. I do have a video all about homeschool problems. So you can see there that there are some difficulties about homeschooling, but for the most part, homeschooling is about helping your child achieve their goals. And there are ways that you can teach your child that aren't directly correlated to money. There were many times that I was given, resources so I could help my kids. I was able to help my kids. My one daughter, she taught violin, so she was able to be a violin teacher. She organized all of the recitals and everything. She learned a lot by this experience. And this is something she wouldn't have been able to do in any other setting of education. So she had an advantage, and I personally didn't really put out money for that advantage. So that's a way that money is not directly correlated to the success of a student. Also, there are ways that students can maybe go to a vocational school and they can get some training, and then they could be an apprentice for someone and they could learn something that in that setting it's not really putting out a whole bunch of money, but they will be working toward a career for the future. I also had kids who worked with a man who helped them build sheds. So they built the sheds in order to raise money for their camp, and they also learned a lot about construction and how to work hard and how to just so many things that they learned from that experience. So I just have heard so many people with the idea that money is directly correlated to the education success of a child. And I would like to say that I do not agree with that. Maybe as a whole, maybe in a town, you might look at everyone and statistically this might be what it looks like on paper. But as a family, if you're a lower income, you do not have to agree with that. your students can do anything they put their mind to. I remember my daughter graduated from a community college, and I went to the graduation, and the speaker there was from a foreign country. I can't remember what country it was, but he was very poor. And I remember he said that when he was very young, he can remember his first memories were waking up with no food. And he had to go out and he had to scrounge for food. And if he didn't have, food, he would die. And so he was just telling us that he was determined to eat. So throughout his life, as he continued to grow, he learned to be creative. He had to trap animals and do whatever he had to do to be able to survive. Well, it turned out when he was about 12 years old, he was able to be in a foreign exchange student program, and he was sent to America to live with an American family. And it was there that he realized all the advantages that we had in this country. And I remember him telling the story about how he lived in a really nice house, and there were these lawns everywhere. And he went around and he asked every person if he could mow their lawn, and he did not quit. He mowed lawns and mowed lawns and mowed lawns, and he saved every penny that he made. And when it was time for him to go to college, he had a nest egg of money, and he went to the college and he sat through the first day of classes, and he's like, this is not going to do. I know all this stuff. So then he went to the administrator and he's like, I already know all this stuff. I'm not wasting my time in these really easy courses. I want these art courses. I'm here for art. And the administration said, well, we don't do it this way, So they kind of went back and forth, and the guy's like, I told him his story, and he's like, I've got the money, I'm paying for it myself, and I'm not wasting my time. What can we do about it? So they worked out a plan, and the administration gave him a project to do. And when he brought the project back, the administration was so impressed that he actually did work with this guy. And this guy was able to tailor make his education, and he was able to put the money into it. I think he ended up working for the college, and then they, were able to barter or however they do it. But what he was trying to say is, you can do anything you set your mind to doing. You have some creativity, you have some determination, and you have some grit, and you just go for it. You don't have to say, well, I don't have the money for that, or, because of this disadvantage, I can't do it. So don't give your students any leeway for giving up. In this country, we have, that saying, where there's a will, there's a way. And kids today need inspiration, and they need creativity, and they need determination, and they need to know that they can do anything that they set their mind to doing when they have the right spirit and when they're determined to get it done. So that's my soapbox about education, is that it's not all about money. It's not about throwing money to this organization or this, situation, or even the curriculum itself. We have so much knowledge everywhere that all we have to do is get a bunch of books and start reading, and you can do anything you want to do. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right. Well, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.